Hello, hello. Oh, I was like, it was showing no viewers. I was like, damn it, chat, you voted for the movie. Where are you? But no, it's fine. I see some people coming in.
Hello there.
Yeah, and in all fairness, I posted about it very late today because I was out shopping for things. So while we wait for people to realize that we exist, how was everybody's weekend?
My weekend was low key, I think. I played a lot of Batwa. Like a lot.
She may be mildly addicted now.
I might be. Well, in the first 10 days of me having the Switch, I played 65 hours. So take that, take what you will from that statement.
Ooh. Hello. Yeah, and then due to a sale, I was like, well, now I have to tell you about Age of Calamity, the semi prequel to Bawa. So
I'm very excited.
yes.
More games to play. Please don't chew on my chargers. They're not nutritious or delicious.
Okay. I have posted that we're live.
Also,
So go ahead.
For anyone wondering, I hit my face on a cabinet, hence the Band-Aid. It's like I can feel it swelling up. It was a few hours ago, but it is not the vibe.
My computer is just like, you're not allowed to look up any pictures that you want right now. CB, Katrina, if either of you could get some lovely shots of the mer makeup, that would be great.
Katrina, are you on it or should
I can do it. Maybe if my laptop doesn't explode.
The internet said no. No one is allowed to see. They have to go watch the movie if they want to see the makeup.
Oh my god, Storm.
So far, 75% of, 60% of people have not seen it, and the people who have seen it saw it a long ass time ago.
Why did you vote for this then?
Bruh, I did see this before I was 13 too. I just realized Chris is like
did not.
1999. It's okay because it was as good as I remember it being. So there's
Me
that.
in my mermaid phase would have loved it. Therefore, me now loves it because I have not exited the mermaid.
Oh, like not to give too much of our planned conversation away. The 13th Year is just like really cheesy, campy, lighthearted fun. It is not. Do not go into this movie thinking it is a serious movie, or to take it too seriously, because you will not have a good time. But it's just a silly Disney Channel original movie that was a lot of fun. Hello, everybody. I'm just going to give it another minute or two, and then we'll go ahead and do our intros, and then start talking about the movie.
So one of my lights was making a noise, and I'm like, that's really concerning. It was the drink next to the light.
Oh.
The, carbonation thing.
Ah, yes. I like Googled the 13th Year movie makeup, and like the one picture that keeps standing out is just him on the ceiling. And I'm like, there is no movie makeup in this scene. I mean, maybe, but not what I wanted.
You mean Cody on the ceiling?
Yeah, Cody on the ceiling.
You said Tim, I'm pretty sure.
No, I said him.
I'm like, fuck, is his name Tim? Did I misread that? Like, did I just miss that the entire movie?
No, there are no Tims. No Tims in the movie. There's a Cody, a Sam, a Sean,
A Jess.
Yes.
a Jess,
Oh, I wonder what our favorite character is.
a Jess's dad, John.
Oh, I didn't realize that guy.
I don't know Cody's parents' names though.
Sharon is the mom.
That's right.
No idea what the dad's name is. Probably
because the dad's Uncle Joey from Full House. So every time I saw him, I was just like Uncle Joey in my mind. And one of the fishermen is Scully from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but he's like such a drastically different character. I was like, Scully, why?
And he's so much younger.
Scully, why are you being so mean right now?
But his hair was a different color. So like, time passed. I just saw my dice on my desk, and I still think we need to do that D&D stream.
One day, I will do it's not a D&D stream though. It will probably be World of Darkness because the D10 system's easier to do for me with new people. Also, it's more narrative heavy. Although technically D&D 5e kind of like is also very narrative heavy.
I started listening to Critical Role today while working. It's actually enjoyable. I was worried I was going to get bored. I did not get bored.
Oh, that's good. Are you starting with campaign 1? Or
yeah,
okay.
I am.
I have to catch up. I am so behind.
My D&D group, we watched Vox Machina, like the TV show. We loved it. It was so much fun. We were like shouting out, like someone just fumbled, like that kind of stuff, like yelling what we think happened in gameplay. Like, because only one of us at the time had like watched any.
Oh my god! Look, I love how they put the universal battle against doors in there.
Yes, yes. One of my friends, our DM, just went door every single time.
I'm like, I remember that.
Because that game earlier the day, I was like, oh, I'm gonna like pick the lock, and they're like, the door just opens as soon as you put pressure on it. I was like, because I rolled really well.
All right, so let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Katrina, you get to go first.
Oh no, hold on. Still looking at photos. Okay. Hi, I'm Katrina. I sometimes do things on the internet. Not lately. But once I get my stuff together, you'll be able to find me on Instagram, and hopefully soon I'll have my website with a short story.
Her link tree's down below, so keep an eye on that when it updates.
Me, right? Hey there, I'm Ferrenz, young adult fantasy writer, teenager for a little bit longer, college student, film major, and I on my channel I talk about these are Sam's words again.
Just embrace it. Just embrace the cadence.
Footage of short films I make and for short films themselves. One is incoming. I'm editing the behind the scenes footage now. I post videos quarterly, bi-yearly. Nope, twice a year. I don't know. Whatever, fancy word for whenever I do.
Biannually.
Biannually.
It's twice a year.
Biannually.
I think.
And I have social medias which you should follow if you want to see lots of MERCB, spelled SEABEE, photos incoming, like the one on the thumbnail, because I did a mermaid photo shoot for this live stream. Wearing this as well.
just a mermaid on vacay.
Yeah.
A murdad.
Murdad. Chris got a shirt very similar to the one that like CB has on, except it's Zelda Wind Waker themed. And I'm like, I don't even wear those shirts, but I want it.
I stole this from my older brother.
That's fair. And hi, I'm Writing Mom Samantha Nasset. This is my channel where I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer parent things. And on Mondays, I host streams very much like this, where sometimes we talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about, like today, the 1999 movie, The 13th Year. Other times, like, no, not next week is going to be a special episode with some form of writing competition that I will sort out this week. And then the week after that, I believe we're going back to writing sprints and productivity. Woo! If you would like to see a sample...
I think that's reversed.
Is it reversed? Let me double check my schedule.
I think that's reversed.
I apologize to the people. I might be getting my weeks mixed up. Yes, you are correct. Next week, we will be doing a write-in, and then the week after that is the writing competition. Oh, that means I have a whole extra week. That's good for me. And if you would like to see a sample of my writing, you can go to my website, samanthaalnasset.com, and read my spooky flash fiction. And I might also share the All That Glitters link today for like anybody who came here if you're not signed up to my newsletter. But if you were signed up to my newsletter in June, then you definitely have access to All That Glitters, and you can read it now. You can also stay up to date with all things Sam by signing up to said newsletter at my website. And if you'd like to support the channel, like the stream, click that bell so that you know all the times that I go live and post things. And you can also tip me at Ko-fi down below.
Just that money.
And yeah. Hey y'all, sorry for being MIA. I got a new job, had to get a new apartment, and I am now preparing and packing for a cross-country move. Woo! We are happy for you for all of the fresh start and glad to see you back.
Don't be sorry. I've also been MIA. This is my return.
Yes, this all happened in the span of 2 weeks because I don't only pants in writing, I pants through life.
Oh, God.
I mean, that's fair. And look, just so y'all know, I did like note your absence and I missed you, but it is always understandable. Your lives and your health and everything come first. Take care of you. And I look forward to whenever you return.
Mom check.
Damn it, CB beat me, Chris's sample. It's just much the people on screen have an advantage.
I think I have an advantage by nature of all this.
I will say though, there was even a pause.
There was. I have a slight headache from hitting my head earlier. I'm not going to think too much about it because I don't feel like having another concussion.
If you just ignore the concussion, it won't.
Hey, last time I tried that with a broken arm, it did not work.
It didn't.
Really, you gotta try again.
Look, it's okay, CB. I'm not driving tomorrow, so I can stay up with you tonight. It's all right. I'll keep you company.
I took a nap earlier.
We'll bottle.
I had a dream where I slept through this live stream 3 times. I had 3 of them back to back with different fonts. When I was in the middle of a tattoo, and I was like, wait, I gotta go to a live stream. One of them was I woke up at 7:30 and I was like, I haven't watched the movie yet. And I texted Sam and I fell asleep again. And then I woke up and it was 6:30 in real time.
Yes, Raphael, we are talking about the Merman 13th Year.
I think it's you, but it sounds like you have a concussion.
It doesn't even look that bad.
It's okay. I'll stay up with you. It'll be fine. We'll botwa or we can Stardew. We got a farm.
I don't even have work tomorrow.
Well, there you go.
I dusted off.
I can't type fast on my phone. This is also fair. Okay, so because only 20% of people have seen the movie recently, I'm gonna go ahead and summarize. That's the word. The movie. I just have migraines. I've taken my pain meds already. So for every, if you know, and if you don't know, with migraines, I get brain fog, which makes my neuroreceptors very slow. But it's fine. We'll get through it. All right. So the 13th Year, the basic summary of this movie is mermaid was just swimming through a harbor, chilling, taking care of her baby, and then accidentally left her baby with some humans because like she hid him there she hid him there to go fuck with a fisherman so that he wouldn't like catch her, and then she went back for the baby and realized the humans had found and taken the baby, and well, now she's without her baby for the next 13 years. They raise the baby, and apparently in this world, mer children are amphibious, and they can live in the water or on the land for 13 years. But once they turn 13, they start going through mer puberty and eventually do have to like go back in the water.
Was that because he was like born the day she lost him?
Yeah, that's like she had him and then lost him is kind of the idea that we got. Because like he started to be fair, his like symptoms started showing up the day before his birthday, so I'm gonna assume he was like less than a week old. Which he was already like wide awake and giggling like my dams.
Mer babies.
Mer puberty. Mer babies.
Since 1999.
It's 1999. And then like it's really just a coming of age story for a mer boy. And he's like on the swim team, but he can't do the swim team things now because every time he like gets wet and stuff, it kind of jump starts the puberty a little more every time. And like that fisherman who saw his mer mom 13 years ago is like still obsessed with catching her, has kind of become the town or the fishing laughing stock at least with it. And he like befriends this band nerd, which he's all like, hey, you help me with biology. I'll, what do you want? And the kid's like, teach me how to swim, teach me how to not drown and stuff, which is like my favorite line in the movie. I'm like, yes, that's the goal of swimming, to learn to not drown and stuff.
I have so many quotes from him like written down in my notes.
Jess is great.
Golden
I would argue that Jess is probably the best child actor in the movie, which that is another thing. They're all like, all of the actors are roughly the ages of their characters, so like they're child actors, so the acting isn't the greatest, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
While I was watching it, a movie from the time where they actually hired child actors to play children.
Yeah.
When child characters were age appropriate.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's mostly just kind of like campy, good fun. Like I don't think it's intentionally campy, but I take it as campy, good fun. It's like very over the top and cheesy at times. So one of the more wholesome movies from the 90s, in my opinion.
What the fuck happened in the 90s?
But I'm a Cheerleader. But I'm a Cheerleader came out the same year as this did.
Well, like there's a variety. Is it just like are all movies from the 90s have But I'm a Cheerleader vibes?
No. No, that's not trash.
Did you get the TikTok I sent you about that?
Yeah, I did.
About how But I'm a Cheerleader is such like a renown, and I'm like,
well, as I said when we did the Let's Talk for But I'm a Cheerleader, I see why so many people like it and why so many people are attached to it. And I think maybe we were just the wrong group of 3 for that, especially since it triggered 2 out of 3 of us for trauma related to that. So, yeah. But I digress. I have a whole lot of happy about that. Yes, the Mer movie was just a whole lot of happy. No, I rib on the 90s because the 90s gave birth to the rise of the anti-hero and the dark, grim, gritty thing, and the all villains need a backstory, need a tragic backstory. So basically, just, that TikTok thing where it's like, add a bit of spice. The 90s was add a bit of trauma. That's the 90s. So the 90s, you got one of 2 things: add a bit of trauma or just wholesome goodness. And now you understand my personality.
Yep.
90s slay. I am 90. It's fine. Okay, so first question. What did y'all think of the movie and was it enjoyable? I think in my summary I already answered this, but I'll rehash my answer after everybody answers, including chat.
I had a delightful time. I still think we should have watched the first season of H2O, but we couldn't, this is a pretty good. I have one qualm with the movie.
CB, what you do is during a night when we botwa and chill, we put Sailor Moon on in the background, and you catch up that way while we're playing botwa. You will get through that 60 hours.
I got through a chunk of it. Possibly.
You have like what you need to watch season 4 of the regular and then 3 seasons of the Crystal.
I forgot about it.
The 13th Year was my game. I could see that. That boy was always shirtless. Like, he was half naked through most of the movie. I'm like watching it and I'm like, man, this kid was confident. He was comfortable.
Yeah, little kid me would have really enjoyed that movie. I mean, I fully enjoyed the movie for completely different reasons. Well, the mermaid reasons were the same.
Age-appropriate CB would have enjoyed this movie for other reasons than older, non-age-appropriate CB.
Yes.
Gotta clear the air right there.
Yeah. That's like 6 years. And yeah. I like, there were obviously issues with the movie, but like...
This is fair. I'm really glad I rewatched it because I was like, I remember almost nothing except that he goes through mer puberty and this causes issues with the swim race. And that his mom is amazing.
You liked his mom?
His mer mom.
Oh, his mer mom. Okay.
His mer mom is great. Fucking the movie starts with she's just like, let me just put my baby down for a second. And then, like, instead of like hiding or running from the fisherman, she just like, she's sitting there sending him things. And then he crashes into the waves. And I'm like, that is a mermaid. That is a mermaid from legend. I love her. And then, like, the look on her face when she realizes that, like, they took her baby. She's like, son of a, I'm not an amphibian anymore.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her.
My biggest, my issue with the movie, it's very serious. You only got a fucking tail in the last, like, 30 seconds of the movie. Like it was great. I liked the movie.
CB just wanted more mertail.
I just wanted, like, proper mermaiding. Mermaiding.
I was waiting for the tail the whole time, and every time he got wet, I was just thinking of H2O and how they have like 15 seconds until they grow a tail, and I was like, where's his tail? Where's his tail?
He's sorry that he came before H2O. He is their predecessor. But they've already gone through puberty. They lived in the water. That might have effects on it.
Did they? It just kind of happened. They just like weren't mermaids than they were.
Because in H2O, they're older than 13. So
yeah, I have no idea how old
if the same lore applies, then yes.
He was high school age.
Also, I will say there's a part where it's like the doctor diagnoses all of his issues as puberty, and I have in my notes, he's not wrong. He's not right, but he's not wrong.
Like, yes. But no. Not in the way you're thinking, sir.
Katrina, did you say if the movie was enjoyable?
I don't know. I did like it. I thought it was cute. Probably not going to rewatch it again.
I mean, that's fair, though. Like, I'm vaguely zoned out at part of it, and I greatly enjoy the movie, so...
I was enthralled. I mean... I just like stupid kids movies like this. Like,
so do I. It's just a couple of the characters I was like, I don't care about you.
Oh, yeah, I don't like some of the characters.
But we'll get to that.
Yep.
So, who's everybody's favorite character? Can I guess who your two's favorite character is?
Yep.
Does it start with a J and end in an S?
Yeah.
So y'all's favorite character was indeed Jess. He reminds me of the actor who plays the dad in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh my god.
I really thought it was him until I looked him up and I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, I think they're like completely the wrong age.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who is this kid? Though? I
but-
feel like I've seen him in other stuff.
His name is Justin John Ross.
Wow.
Justin John Ross. What have you been in, my good sir?
Absolutely nothing I have ever seen before.
Well, maybe I have because I'm old.
There's a picture with and his like pops up as a kid that looks very different than him. Look.
Yeah, I don't know who this kid is. The blonde kid.
He's from a rich kid movie, but I'm trying to remember which one. Let's see. He's in Recess. Oh, that's a video game. Lloyd in Space, the TV series. Ziggs, Orphan, Time of Your Life, Recess. I think that's a voice though. Yeah. Oh yeah, cartoons. The 13th Year. Sabrina the Teenage Witch TV series. He was in Jumanji as the young Alan Parrish. Extreme Ghostbusters. Does he just mostly do voice roles? Is that what's going on here? I think he mostly just... Oh, he was in Little Giants as young Danny?
I don't think I've watched that.
Sorry, I'm laughing because Cody is just like secretly in the background and he updated the Milanote.
Oh, yeah. The Milanote. Because I'm old. This was one of my least liked movies from Disney Channel. It's been so long. Well, that's because you didn't appreciate lots of people in Speedos. Granted, that has nothing to do with why 9-year-old Sam liked it, but...
It's a swim team.
That noise. Yes, the notorious JJR. I was just making a joke at some of the gay awakening and the other things from earlier, but thanks, narking me lurking.
Can I share some of my favorite Jess quotes?
Yes, you may share some of your favorite Jess quotes.
Thank you. We're starting from the bottom, like the
Hold on.
movie.
Chat, while she enthralls us with Jess quotes, please say your favorite characters.
Quote, this is at the end of the movie when Cody turns back into a mermaid and returns to his mom. Jess
I know
goes,
exactly what quote this is.
I finally get a friend and he turns out to be turns into a fish.
Typical.
Yeah. I was just stopped writing there because we had
I
to stream.
I have that quote on my board, and then I have a little thing. I'm like, I have a feeling Jess and I have very different friend troubles.
All right. When the swim team is having issues because Cody is like not playing nice or like he's not really joining in because he's turning into a merman and everything. Cody and his old best friend are arguing, and Jess steps in to stop it and goes, If anyone around here is going to get beaten up, it's gonna be me. And then he goes on to say, like, what am I gonna do if you beat up each other? Like,
There's gonna be nothing.
What am I gonna do between classes? Not get beaten up? And it was like, yes, hon, that is the goal. All right.
It's like, Jess Boo, we need to talk about your de-escalation skills.
Yeah. All right, I have some Cody quotes, but I can't remember which one of them said it, but it was about the scales. I think it was Jess goes, this looks pretty fishy to me. Yeah.
That was Cody.
Okay, this one is another Cody one. Another Cody. Cody had quite a few good quotes.
So my favorite character is actually Cody, and part of the reason, some of the reasons my favorite character is Cody is because like when everything starts happening, he goes to his parents. He like goes to his authorities, and he's like, these things are happening, and they just don't take him seriously or don't believe him. So then he like starts, he goes to Jess because he's like, Jess, you're super smart. You know about fish and stuff. Help me. And then like after he gets data and evidence, he goes back to his parents and he's like, all right, will you listen now? Because like I got scales, bitches.
Yeah. Would you like to hear some Cody quotes? The one I wrote down.
What, baby?
Sam's momming, so I'm going to share them.
Go ahead, Daddy.
Oh, yeah. This is back to a Jess quote. Nerds don't have friends. They have hobbies. I was like, how funny.
I love that poor boy.
My
mentions D&D and Star Trek, and I'm like, this is Cody when Jess is like, my dad's like eccentric. Cody goes, everyone's parents are weird. Valid.
I thought that was
referring to fish puberty. Everyone else in the world just gets hairier.
most people get hairier. I got scales.
When Cody's having his low-key mental existential crisis, mental breakdown time about being a merman, looks at fish, I'm one of you now.
I also like when he tries the fish food. Much regret. He's like, I'm turning into a fish. I'm like, oh boy, so much
this
regret.
is a bad idea. Proceeds with said idea. All right, those are my quotes.
I also like that. So he gets his girlfriend, and then like he doesn't tell her about what's going on with him, in part because he doesn't want to like freak her out and everything. And then when she finally does find out, his priority is to make sure that they're okay and to apologize. And then they have like a real communication heart to heart. And I'm like, this is good. I mean, it's valid that she freaked out. And I love that when she freaked out, she's like, I'm not going to tell anybody, but this is too much. I'm like 12, 13. I didn't know. My boyfriend's turned into a fish. This is above my pay grade.
Yeah.
But then later she's like, it was a lot, but I get it and I understand. So now what? And he's like, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just a fish.
I'm just turning into a fish. Also, like when he goes, I don't remember Ariel being able to do this. And then he has little lightning powers.
I was so confused about how he get electricity power. Like, this is not a good power to have in the water.
Because electric eels conduct electric currents, and the like mer people in the 13th year's ability to conduct electricity is implied what allows them to communicate telepathically. Go ask Daddy. I am streaming.
I just went like telepathic mermaids. Okay.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense on its own, but I appreciate that they like added the electricity bit into it. Sorry, I was like shaking my knees and it kept like bumping the table and then shaking my camera, and I'm like,
No problem.
That's not fun. So you obviously we're not here from the start. CV hit her head on a cabinet, may or may not have a concussion. She's willing it to not exist.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
What if I was like hiding a zit or something, Cody? Like that's a thing people do, put band-aids on, like at least in middle school.
This is very fair, Nicole. It was a very long time ago when the when the mer dinosaurs roamed. I know that that's just old fishes, but I'm gonna say mersaurs anyway.
Okay.
The dino mers.
Do you not like? Oh, you're also willing things
Also
not
willing.
to exist.
Not the movie though. I hope.
No. It's delightful.
So, who is everybody's most disliked character?
I don't want to go first.
I don't like the parents, either Jess's or Cody's. I didn't really like them.
So, I have mixed feelings.
Dad.
I have mixed feelings with John, Jess's dad, because like I kind of get it, and he still tries to be a good dad, right?
Yeah.
While also trying to prove that he's not crazy, because there was a mermaid and it fucked up his boat, and he just wants to prove she exists. And even when like he takes Cody onto his boat, he still like tries to take care of Cody and keep him like wet and stuff. He's just very hyper fixated on it. And like when he talks to Jess about it, it's like you get part of the motivation is so that Jess can also stop being ashamed of him and his reputation. But also his kid almost dies because of it, so it's like
his redeeming thing for me was yes when he was like trying to help Cody, but also when he jumped in the water instead of like focusing on to save his own child instead of focusing on getting Cody to shore. I was like, okay. I mean, bare fucking minimum, but
yeah, he
was
he wasn't
refreshing.
the best of dads, but he wasn't the worst. My most disliked character is Cody's mom, like his human mom.
hated her. Sharon. I wrote in my notes, like, of fucking course her name is Sharon. No hate to people named Sharon. It's only that Sharon.
It's like, I feel like she fulfills the 90s caricature of rich white ladies trying to be philanthropic and not doing it. Definitely with the like home remedies and distrust of modern medicine. And I'm like, oh, I forgot that started there. Like, I forgot we started way back when.
That was a mockery, right?
What?
Was that mocking that lifestyle?
Oh, I believe the narrative was mocking it,
Okay.
especially like when she's like doing it and the dad just looks at Cody and he's like, you don't have a math test or anything today, do you? He's like, you're not faking this, are you? So
yeah.
When it was like one of the times Cody went to his parents and his dad was like, okay, well, maybe we should get him checked out by the doctor. And the mom was like, you know how I feel about doctors. And then later, Cody brought it up again. And the mom was like, well, the doctor said it was just puberty. And I was like, well, I thought you didn't believe in doctors.
Yeah, I thought like,
why are you believing in them now?
You didn't like the doctor. You didn't like the quack with the stethoscope when he was going,
Also, what is up with that doctor? Also, was he the only POC in the movie?
The doctor?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or like not white person in the entire movie.
I was not looking at the screen through a majority of the movie, so it is entirely possible. But I did not know. Because it is a 90s Disney Channel movie.
Yeah.
Hi,
Storm. Oh.
There may have been some background characters who weren't, but like I said, I don't know for certain. And I don't want to say if I don't know for certain. As soon as I got Disney Plus, I immediately looked it up. No, this was my vote. I like this movie. I have not seen it since it came out. The friend of Cody. Oh, Sean.
Yeah.
So I had mixed feelings with Sean too, because well, Sean was just a 13-year-old brat, like snot, and like there's mention of a lot of bullying or beating up of Jess, but from memory, you don't actually, nothing happens on screen. There's no, so it's like, it's more just like people are saying that it does and stuff. And as far as like the swim team's treatment of like Jess in general, like the swim coach acts like Jess falling in the water with his horn is an inconvenience. And like Cody goes and like saves him. So it's like, you can't expect the teenagers, like they're gonna model behavior to an extent. So, and then like Sean's perfectly fine with Cody having beaten him for the gold. Like you can see that he was kind of happy for him until he notices the fins. And then he's like, hold on, I was cheated. He's like, you're using something. And then like his friend is admittedly acting very sus.
Yeah.
And I mean, Cody did kind of cheat because he couldn't beat Sean when he was just human, but now he's a merman. So it's like, there's a little bit of natural steroid there. But so I didn't like Sean, but I could understand Sean, so he wasn't a dislikable character to me.
That scene reminded me from the scene from Teen Wolf where Jackson's like talking to the main character and he's like, what do you want? Like, are you like taking juice? And the main character goes, my mom buys all the groceries. Yeah, where'd you get your juice? My mom buys all the groceries.
My mom buys my illegal substances.
And then Jackson is like, are you doing steroids? And Scott just goes, why? Are you?
Yeah! Sky is like such an idiot. I love Teen Wolf. It's so good.
I do not immediately recognize the title, so I don't know. She is? Who is she in the movie? Hold up.
I was literally about to look it up. But also, real quick, back to the coach. I literally wrote down in my notes right here, kid drowning in the pool, and the swim coach didn't care and literally walks away. Yeah. And he was like, this is why safety is important, kids, as he walks away from a kid literally drowning.
Yeah, and like, even if the kid could swim, he was like strapped into his instrument, right?
Yeah, and it's a big instrument.
Like, he's fully clothed too, like. Also, the kid can't swim. Go help. Like, you yell at the kid being like, don't go near the pool if you can't swim. Like, it's dangerous. But, like...
He was also behind something and, like, walked into it and fell.
Yeah, because his hat was in his face.
So he wasn't that close to the pool. He's
Yeah.
just a klutz, which I understand.
Yeah.
She was not a named character.
Right, she was one of the students in the water fountain when Cody was drinking. Huh. I like the one kid at the front of the water fountain, like the spiked blonde hair, and he was like... He was just, like, making the most bizarre facial expression. My cat's trying to get to higher ground.
This sounds familiar, so I probably saw it, yeah.
Hi.
So what is there a part of the movie that stuck out for y'all in chat? Is there a part of the movie that stuck out for y'all?
I really like the montage, the research montage. It was really cute.
Hey, Roxy, bring me the Coke. Just any Coke.
I laughed so hard at the ending where you see Cody swimming away and he jumps with his tail and
Yeah.
Like Teen Sam, like Child Sam was like, "Oh, that's such like a cool tail," and Adult Sam still thinks the tail looks really cool, like the ombre, the scales. It's super pretty. Adult Sam also now sees where the flippers are indented at the bottom of the tail, and I'm like, we have come so far in mertail technology.
With a really low quality fake tail who does the same thing, and I'm like, yeah.
It was 1999. This was
I got
good mertail technology.
The halfway point.
I like Cody's moms talking to each other at the end. I feel like the mer mom was extraordinarily understanding of these humans who stole her child. Like, yes, okay. She was hiding him for... Thank you, baby. She was hiding him for safety, but also...
like, I have a question. I wasn't sure whether she was like... I was like, why are you so close to the land? And, like, I thought maybe she was actually trying to get rid of her kid.
I thought that too.
Yeah.
If you watch her facial expressions, because her acting is all done in her face and everything,
her facial expressions are extremely bland in that moment. Like there was like something going on, but it was like not clear.
She like
to me
she seemed
reading facial expressions.
Oh, okay. So to me, she seems very like concerned and like coming to acceptance that this just happened. And then like later on when he's older and stuff, like she starts there's like a whole scene where she's just watching him swim and get used to like his fins and stuff, but she knows that it's not like time yet, so she just kind of waits and she just watches him, which I think kind of implies that she's been watching him the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a few shots from the water.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think she intentionally left him behind, but I just think because of how mer genetics work in this world, that once they go on land and they've been on land for a certain amount of time, they can't come back in the water until they hit mer puberty, because then like their scales and stuff don't show, because like he's been showering and bathing presumably for the last 13 years, like, and no scales or anything. So
what's the deal with like, oh yeah, he'll be able to come back before school starts? Like at the end of the movie, I was like,
that's just what she cares about.
Is it because he grew up on land? Are we just glossing over it? Cause
they're like, oh, he'll be back. I don't know. See, because at first I was waiting for them to explain it, because in my notes I'm like, this goes either one of two ways. Either like, oh, she just fucked up and lost her kid, which is kind of what her expression is saying, or it's very tragic that mer people in this world have to give up their child for 13 years. And if so, how many teenagers go missing when they turn 13?
Yeah.
Like, how many adopted children just vanish when they turn 13 for the summer? I have questions. Movie
like,
that did not want me to think this deeply.
Yeah. Anyways, mer genetics. Wild.
Also, mer babies can make noises underwater, but adults cannot.
Of course.
Some
Maybe
powerful.
the mom just didn't fucking feel like it. She's like, you know what? You guys stole my baby. You're not like worth my words.
I ain't talking to you, motherfuckers. Give him back. Also, what if he like goes to Mertopia or Atlantis or wherever she's from, and it's just like, this is where I wish to be.
Yeah, he's like, you know
Doesn't
what?
show
I
up
don't
back
want
in
to go back.
September.
I don't want to go back to school. I suck at it.
I mean, what 13-year-old wants to go to school anyway? Very few.
It was 1999, made for TV movie. Cut it some slack. We said that we loved it and that it was good. That's what we're here to do.
Like something and still point out
it's flaws. Me and Sailor Moon for the last 20 years. You can still watch it. It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It's good. I think I missed some comments. I apologize if I did, but the thing kept going up. I wish we see. That's the other question. Did baby Cody have scales or anything?
Yeah,
because he's just
I wanted to see baby
wrapped up in a fish. Merperty equals mer people plus puberty. Whoop! There goes my kid. Well, I mean, she can't do anything about it. She can't go on land, and they like didn't come back to the water for a while.
He lived on a boat. Or not lived on a boat. His parents own a boat thing. He was probably on the water a lot.
They did the boat tour. But like they said at first they went to like the police station, saw if there was anybody reporting missing, and then they kept him for a couple weeks and everything. So like presumably in those weeks he lost his ability to speak underwater. Because 13-year-old Cody can also not do that.
Or can.
We need someone to try and then just choke on the water.
That's one thing in H2O. I don't think they can speak underwater. They're always like,
yeah, like
always just like.
Do they live in colonies? Is there a kingdom? Like, are they just solo? What happened to his mer dad?
Who's the mer dad?
Who's the mer daddy?
Aquaman. That's how he could command fish.
Aquaman?
Also, Aquaman, a Star Trek in the reference, the Spider-Man reference, the Jedi lightsaber reference when he's like, hold on. The light bulb.
That's the thing that gets me. Why can he stick to the walls?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that made no sense to me. I'm like, hold on. Why are you sticky?
I stopped, like, I was like looking at my phone and I looked back and Cody's just on the ceiling and I was just like, what mermaid crawls on the ceiling? Like,
why is that? I'm like, does he need to stick to rocks? Is it so he can stick to the bottom of a boat to thoroughly fuck with their radar?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
My dad,
I think the reason she can't talk was because she never learned human words. That's also, I think that's like possible. I do think she spends enough time around humans that she could probably speak basic words, but like she doesn't need to, nor has ever tried.
Mermaids. When I was not a teenager, when I was like 4th and 5th grade, and I was like watching H2, the time I got my mermaid tail in the mail. I was watching it in our living room. My dad came by and he sat down next to me and he like paused it very seriously and looked at me and I was like, hello? And he's like, I need you to promise me. And I was like, oh God. He's like, if you ever turn into a mermaid or get special powers or anything, just tell me. Like, I'll help you. I won't judge you or try and sell you to like some scientist thing. I was on a binge of like these types of movies. And he was like, just talk to me. Okay?
That's how you handle that.
I think about that every once in a while. I'm like, don't have powers yet, but if I did.
See, and here's the other thing with it, right? Specifically where he was sticky on his hands and feet, he didn't really have scales. Like even at the end, he never
fingertips, but he had scales like on the palm of his hand and down like.
Have you seen? Well, let me Google the movie poster.
That's the year I was born. It's my movie now.
And that was my 13th year.
I was 2.
that was when I went on my Mercury journey.
The way that me and like would like practice with water, seeing if I would get mermaid powers, I would regret nothing. Still trying to.
I did it too.
One day.
One day.
Wait, Google doesn't want me to see the movie poster, so I'll have to look at that later. Could be sea urchin. Why he's sick? Well, yeah, I'm sure that like they were pulling from something, but like, why would he need to? Is the question? Because like all of these things presumably would have been powers that like
Maybe,
he
like,
would utilize in the
don't get,
ocean.
like, swept away. Like the mermaids can hang on to stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, is he supposed to like stick to the rocks, to the coral, to a boat going by?
That like stick themselves to like stuff for like
like barnacles.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to clean barnacles off of boats.
Yeah.
This would imply he's mildly parasitic.
Gotta check the mermaids off the bottom of your boat always.
That's really how they started to go extinct. They just stuck onto things. I saw the 13th year when I was 6 and very disappointed when I turned 13. I saw it when I was 9.
So valid.
Okay, so the mer lore, which we kind of have touched on here and there, but I particularly enjoy when Jess is going through all of his dad's things and you like they're showing like actual mythologies and lores and like the Ripley's Believe It or Not mer mummy thing, and then Jess is like, oh, by the way, Dad, I found this one that says, hold on, I have the exact quote, let me just find it.
Leon Johnson asked, do you prefer mermaids to be pretty and sweet or deep sea predators? Yes.
My answer is also the same.
Pretty but can murder if so inclined.
Okay, my like control F isn't working, so now I just have to look for myself. I'll answer that in a moment. What's the worst that can happen? Being in a tank on the Jerry Springer show? Oh, Jess, that's not the worst that could happen. But I appreciate that that's where he went.
That made me laugh so hard. Jess was great overall.
Yes. Okay, so the quote is, like, Jess goes, oh, by the way, like, Dad, what does this mean? Young mer people can walk among humans. Their biological makeup is such that their aquatic physiology only manifests itself in the 13th year of life. So I guess with that quote, then she was probably looking for a human family to raise her child. But I like heard that and I was like, ah, yes, the very specific piece of mer lore that they slid in here for the movie. But I appreciated how they did that.
Yeah.
Especially like then his dad's like, oh, well, this is what that means. And he's like, oh, okay. So, Dad, how long ago did you see your mermaid? And his dad goes, 13 years ago. Weird coincidence.
He just goes,
Jess is like, I gotta go.
Like, he doesn't say 13 years or anything. Or like, he just goes, 13.
He's like, wait a second.
I was so afraid. I wrote this in my notes in that scene that he had started to suspect Cody and he was only getting close to his son to find out more about Cody. I was like, no. But I was like, no, this is actually bonding. Okay.
No, and like, fortunately, but both unfortunately, he seemed to just like he was listening to them, but he did not seem to start connecting any dots until the swim meet. And then he's like, wait a fuck a second.
I'm magical, guys. See, I'm levitating this pen.
We can see the chain very clearly.
It's invisible.
So for this, I'm good with either. I don't like necessarily have a preference one way or the other. It's all just boils down to fun world building for me.
Yeah.
Does Justice add no mer children turn back at age 13? Oh, or how does, because of all his research, because like that was a thing that he found, like that was just in his research materials amongst all the other stuff.
So yeah,
I saw it when I turned 13. My mom told me it's not happening. You're not a mermaid, dude. I like how parental reactions seem to just be like, you're not a mermaid, you're not adopted. Just remember, if your parent didn't specify that you're not adopted, so you can't be a mer person, you question your parents deeper. Because your YA journey of being the chosen one may still be on the table.
Mm-hmm. My parents were worried I wasn't their baby for a while. Because my mom was unconscious, during the birth, and they just handed a baby to my dad and then walked away. I look exactly like my mom. We're good, but
I have not been able to see Siren yet, though it is on my list of things I wish to watch.
I want to, but I also
have no idea what that is.
It is a TV show about mermaids.
I was about to say it's a TV show about a siren.
Thank you guys. This is really descriptive.
I'm looking. It's on Hulu.
It's also hold on.
That's why I haven't watched it yet.
Let me double check.
I just looked up where to stream Sirens, the TV show, and it's on Hulu, which is probably why I haven't seen it yet. I'm terrible at watching anything on Hulu.
Hulu is available.
Hulu and I just don't get along. The UI and I just don't get along, and I'm like,
I just found a tear in the thigh of my favorite pants, and I kind of want to cry.
Oh no!
So that's right.
Siren is also available on Disney Plus.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, so I may perhaps. But
for it.
So the other bits of the Merlin, I just like how they just basically added everything except singing. There was no singing, and I'm like, yes, because they're mer people, not sirens. Yes, good. Savion's mom just out here crushing all his wild adventure dreams. no mer, no mertail, no wizard.
I turned 11, and I found out both my parents are my biological parents, and I'm never going to camp.
Those motherfuckers.
My theory when I was since I read Harry Potter, or not Harry Potter, Percy Jackson at 7, I was like, all right. So both my parents are my bio parents, but which one of them is a god and just chose to stick around?
So he's like, which one of you is divine?
My running theory was my dad, because he just has a really weird backstory. Every once in a while, I'll be like, oh, I did that. And I'm like, what?
Everybody has already heard about the mysterious, potentially occultish history of my father. So definitely, if any funny business, it's going to be from him. Unless it's Norse gods or anything, then that's just from my mom's line, because Norse gods are notoriously lazy with all of their stuff. So I feel like this movie tried to have tried to be social commentary, but also not, because one of our first things is the Sharon going, oh, we came here to get away from capitalism, but then also the dad's like, and run boat tours, and it's like, boo boo, that's part of capitalism, part of tourist capitalism, but okay. And then also Sharon. I feel like Sharon was one giant social commentary that did not work out. Because then she's also like, oh, no, doctors, only home remedies. Because acupuncture is going to cure puberty. And then, also all the commentary on the bullying that we never actually saw happen.
Yeah.
So it felt like there tried to be some social commentary on bullying is bad, cliques are bad, social issues are bad, but also we don't want to talk about any of this. We're just here to be mermaids.
Friendship thing, not judging people, but then it also wasn't there. They could have, but they didn't.
Yeah, it's like literally he became friends with Jess because it was a mutually beneficial relationship, not like just because they were friends. And then like when he confronts Sean, it's not, oh well we shouldn't bully nerds. It's Jess is actually pretty cool. And so it's like we shouldn't bully my nerd. Like other nerds, not so, but not my nerd.
Oh. I didn't really like the love interest. Like I thought she was completely unnecessary.
No, yeah, she was just like, I will say you could not. It's not a situation where if you replace her with a lamp post, because like
no.
she did do things, and like at the end she did like go get his parents for help.
Yeah.
But also, yes, the romance was highly unnecessary. Like
I was like, I don't care about you.
It was like also
Cody's broship.
Also, let me tell you, at the beginning when Sean's all like, so, hey, Sam, you want to hook up? And her and Cody are like making googly eyes at each other. I'm like, bro, you don't stand a chance. How are you this bad at reading the room?
And then
at one point. You could.
And I was just her and Cody were holding hands, but they were holding their hands like up here.
We have to get it in the shot. Oh, I thought they were cheating on, like, Cody was being cheated on at one point. After she kissed him, she went outside, and I thought she took the guy's hand. Like, they held hands. Like, I don't think they did. I think it was just how their arms lined up, but it looked like they were holding hands, and I was like, they just kissed?
She got two dudes.
Okay.
And they see that could have been an interesting side plot. It's like, this is my human man, this is my fish man, and they're both okay with it. And
that could explain the tension between the two. Maybe they were into each other too, and it's a throuple.
If there's ever a remake,
this is the sequel we need.
I'm sure it would take off. They're like, this is my boyfriend, and this is my merboy.
But in the sequel, Cody Cody comes back, and Jess is like, so yeah, Sean and I have become really good friends, and he's like, why? And he's like, I don't know, but he like missed you, and we started hanging out, and I was teaching him a lot about like mer people and everything, and then Sean's like, sup? So didn't you're like my best friend, and then you were gone, and nobody can replace you, Cody. And then like Cody's like, oh, I thought about you a lot too. Also my girlfriend. Just throwing that out there. I haven't broken up with Sam. And Sam's like, yeah, no, Sean and I have been hanging out a lot too. And then like Jess is just completely oblivious in his like little aromantic bubble. No, Jess is in my little aromantic bubble for him. Okay. He cannot read the room.
Or if it was like 5 years later, he's like, so I did mean to come back, but then there was a mermaid war. But now I'm back. Now I'm in high school.
He just comes back like all burly with scruff.
Like super hot.
He was in the wars.
And all of them are like, we went through high school, and he's like, I've killed so many people.
You don't even understand.
There would be a lot of blood on my hands, but it was in the water, so it just went away. The
crustacean death count. The coral reefs will never be the same. The ocean liners that I've sunk.
I mean, every once in a while, one of his like mer subordinates come by and is like, "Sir, there's activities like shit. I'm trying to do my senior year of high school."
He's like trying for exams. It's like he's trying for exams. Like one of his mer subordinates comes up and it's just like, "So, Cody, Captain, yeah, we gotta go." And he's like, I have a math test tomorrow. I can't leave. I need my high school diploma. And they're just like,
"Sir, why do you need your high school diploma?"
What's a diploma? Is a diploma? Is that
with my girlfriend and my boyfriend?
Is that going to help you with the stratagem? Is the diploma going to help us win the war?
Under the sea.
What?
I said his prom theme is Under the Sea.
Oh my god! And he just like keeps shifting like his scales and stuff, and everyone's like, "Wow, that's so cool!" Like,
the whole
special effects makeup, and he's like, My mom did it.
The like subordinate comes to the dance with him, and he's like, "You really don't have to follow me." Everyone's like, "I am your personal bodyguard." This is not how an octopus looks. What is this supposed to be? A flounder?
Like, Sebastian, I am above. Like, I am your commanding officer. I can protect myself. I beat you at every spar. And Sebastian's like, "But sir,"
he's like, "I don't care. I don't trust these humans. That one over there is mighty suspicious."
That
He's like a teacher pouring.
His eyes, and he's like, "That's my boyfriend."
It's like, well, I think your boyfriend's into me. I mean, that's terrible of him. I don't care what sexuality Sebastian is. He will just be flattered by anybody's interest in these humans. They've got good taste.
And he just stand to the side like, maybe humans aren't all bad. Jess is like, oh my god, it's a mer person!
Jess is like, oh, it's another mer person! Can I study your scales? And Sebastian's like, Sebastian, who's always used to being Cody's number 2, is like, you want to study my scales?
Oh, I guess I'll tell you about mer culture. And Cody's like, I could tell about it.
Just you're busy. Math, whatever. Diplomes. The mud nipple. Let Disney remake The Little Merman. Yes.
Little Merman.
I'm interested in all of the live action remakes with a tentative
it has
preparation to be disappointed.
I saw a Little Mermaid remake, and she was like in a carnival.
Wait, is it done?
No, this is not the like.
Not okay. I'm sorry. I thought you meant
minimal.
One. Okay, so you saw a Little Mermaid remake, and
yeah, she was like, it was like one of those like typical carny movies where like they've got like whatever, like a bearded woman and a sword thrower or something, and then they have the big thing, which is a mermaid in a tank. That's all I remember from it.
Is it
That's fair.
The one with Peter from Narnia?
I don't know.
He was in one of these, and he was like the love interest. I'm like, you're an adult! Oh my god!
It's like you grew up. You're not allowed. It's just the rules.
It's kind of the same, just like taller and in a suit. It wasn't bad. But it was horrifying.
But yes, I whenever Disney's like, we're doing a live action of this thing, I'm like, yes, good. I will watch it and hopefully not be disappointed. Because that's how life goes with Disney. I know this is just a money grab to keep your copyrights. It's fine. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a remake Disney has done. No, they've announced it. It's not Holly Berry, it's Haley Bailey will be playing Ariel.
Oh, the other Little Mermaid. Okay. The actual Little Mermaid, not the weird little one.
Which, like, I was very confused when they first announced it because I thought they said Holly Berry was going to be playing Ariel, and I'm like, I love her, but I think she's out of the age group. Or like, how? I was like very intrigued as to if this was going to be like just a sequel of Ariel living like as the queen, and then I looked it up and it was Haley Bailey, and I'm like, oh, that is a very close name, but not the same person.
Right? What was her name again?
Haley Bailey.
Oh, I don't know how to spell these things.
She's super pretty and like she sings well. So
she is very pretty, yes.
Mulan 2020 was the embodiment of disappointing movies. The Aladdin one much better. Oh, a remake of the 13th Year. I don't think that is, as much as I love the 13th Year, I don't think that Disney
planned it all out for them, but they're probably not.
I don't think they're like uptake our concept. They're lost.
It's okay. When we get rich and successful, we'll do the we'll iron out a couple details.
Successful, I'm like making a Merlin movie, like from BBC's Merlin, because I can't let it in there. But that's like on my list. I can add the 13th Year movie to the list.
Just I
have plans, guys.
Or a prequel about his mermom and how she got to where she is in life, because she's obviously thriving and has not aged in 13 years.
No.
So we have no idea how old. What if there's like only one mermaid and it's her and she just has kids every like 20, 30 years and then they die because they're not gods? But she is.
That's horribly depressing.
That's why her face is that way.
But are all of her kids boys? Because you said she
Up
was
in the air. She just has a kid. There's the thing. I've seen a mermaid thing like that.
Okay.
Where it was this mermaid went on land and became like a person, and then she like raises her daughter, and then eventually she like teaches her to live on her own and stuff, and then eventually she dies and her daughter buries her, and then where she's like buried, and then an egg appears, and then the egg hatches, and it's just a smaller version of the girl, and then that's now her daughter, and she just raised it, and so it implies that this is just a continuous cycle.
That's so sad.
I was fascinated.
Huh.
But yeah. He's like,
No.
I don't know how to feel.
well, so actually, what we were originally like, the reason we picked a mer movie was a circle of life. If I can get my things to load. Everybody who came here today is allowed a sneak peek if I can remember the URL. I can't remember the. Hold on. Fox, are you there? He said that he wouldn't be able. He was like here at the beginning.
Yelled at us and left.
He did.
Fox. Lord and Savior Fox.
Ah, I got it. Okay. All right, but everybody who's here, if you haven't already read it, that is a sneak peek at my All That Glitters.
Oh, I thought we were going to do a dramatic reading. I was so pumped. I wanted to do a dramatic reading.
Okay, I may allow, when I officially make it public, I might allow you to do a dramatic reading. But not this day. I have things to back. She lives in you. She watches over. That, I think that's from the sequel to The Lion King.
Oh.
I have not seen any of the Disney animated movie sequels. Not Mulan's. Not Lion
I watched Mulan's. The bop. I mean, the three, drag queen icons.
Mulan's sequel. Okay, y'all. This isn't about the Mer movie, but I gotta get this off my chest. Mulan's sequel movie is a no, and I'll tell you why it's a no.
I mean,
So Mulan, Mulan the animated cartoon, is about a girl who is trying to live up to her cultural standards while being true to herself, and it never demonizes the culture of which she is raised or grows up in. Just brings, like, her story is just about the fact that she doesn't necessarily align with the norms of the culture, and so maybe there are some things that need to be changed, but like ultimately she still wants to participate in her culture. She's just not the best at it. And then the sequel completely spits in the face of that and has Mulan do absolutely nothing but judge and criticize her culture and say that, yeah, no, we don't have to do this, just fuck it, just do whatever we want. And I'm like, no.
That doesn't sound like my Mulan. Mm-mm. I love Mulan.
The songs do slap, but
that's all I remember. Is the one.
I want to be like the girls.
And then when she tells Chung, they're not her love interest. What's his name? The bisexual one.
Shang. Also, Shang's character development was not it.
It was
He was a no.
That made me so sad as a kid. Maybe I didn't like this movie.
CB's like, I liked the music. Yeah, no, I'll give you, music's great, but like everybody else, no.
Really sad,
that was a no.
He agreed to marry someone, and like Shang died, but he didn't. And like he waltzed back in, and Mulan's like, I'm getting married. Or maybe
I
it's
will
the
say,
reverse.
I
She
liked
died.
I
One
liked
of them
Resurrected
died.
from the Dead Shang's aesthetic, but yeah, no, that movie was so much of a no for me. I was like, no, you took everything I loved about Move On and like Reflection, the song she's known for. Literally, her whole thing is she just wants to be able to participate in her culture and be good at it, and she just finds it hard. And then like she's like, yeah, no, fuck it, fuck the whole culture. Just nope. Just annoys me so much. Every time she mentions all that glitters, I get excited for getting there. Go read it again. High key slaps. Oh, yes, Mulan, high key slaps. Sleep well. It was lovely seeing you. Yes, thank you for saying that, Sam. Too many people misread that about Mulan. She wasn't against her culture. She just wasn't that good at it and discovered, yeah. A good live action Mulan is Rise of a Warrior. If you don't mind a bleaker tone, it shows Mulan growing into a general through the years. Oh, I don't mind bleaker tones sometimes.
Me neither if it has a happy ending.
Depends on where oh, well. Does it have a happy? Because I know how the legend of Mulan ends.
What is the legend of Mulan end?
Oh, she's executed.
Yeah.
They're like, they give her like the war accolades, and they're like, oh yeah, you're a war hero and all of this, but still woman. So, sorry about that. And then they execute her.
Why do all the real fucking legends suck?
Because people suck.
Because people need to see that legends and heroes still have to deal with tragedy.
But I don't want them to, Sam.
They want relatability, not escapism.
Ending. It's Ace and a happy ending. That is the tag we are going for.
Look, escapism is a fairly new concept when it comes to mythology. Mythology used to just be about teaching lessons and passing down cultural things. Now we're like, no, I don't want to deal with today. I have 4 times already. Make it a bit. We're here for the support. It has a bittersweet ending. She wins the war partly through using her femininity and gets to go home, but is separated from the man she loves. Oh, well.
I'll watch it. Or I would watch it. I don't know if I'll actually watch it.
At least she's not executed.
Yeah. It's a low fucking bar, though.
I don't know. I think I've also heard that there's going to be a new live action Hercules.
Yes, there is.
Which I'm like, for why?
Yeah, don't touch it. You're going to mess it up.
Don't touch it. Leave it alone.
There's so many things. So many things.
Just like pick another.
It's funny that we need more of an escape from reality today than we did when these darker tales were first written. Well, that's like I said, they served a different cultural purpose, because like stories and stuff were originally, it was just oral history keeping, and like that's how they passed down their faith and everything. So it's literally, most mythologies were just, this is how we do things, this is why we do things, and this is why we don't do other things. And like also their attempts to explain naturally occurring phenomenon that they just didn't have, like tidal waves and tsunamis. The ocean gods are pissed at us, sacrifice a boat, go do it. So like, but and now we have
guardian of the sun, Poseidon.
Yes. So like all of that, but now storytelling is primarily just entertainment. So now we use it to like escape from reality. And also it says how dark it used to be, that these bittersweet endings were still better than real life. Oh wait, live action Hercules is the next Thor.
I haven't seen the new Thor movie, and I'm really disappointed in myself.
I haven't seen it yet, but I really want to, because the trailer gives me such metal music vibes, and like I don't know how many people know this, but metal music originated in Scandinavia, Norway and the Netherlands, I believe, specifically. So the fact that like Thor or our Norse guy is all just this like metal iconry and everything, I am into it.
I just heard it's more gay than the other Thor movies, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
It's fair. Who put the glad and gladiator? Got you. I was gonna say something else about that. There's one scene that gives me great mixed feelings, and it's the scene where like Zeus accidentally flicks his clothes away, because I'm like, while Thor's reaction to it in the moment is kind of funny, I'm like, if that was a female character, this would not be okay. And I don't like that double standard that one can do that to a male character for comedy, but like, which, to be clear, I'm saying it's not okay to do it to either.
Yeah.
So just nobody can twist my words. I'm not okay with it being done to either. Unless like Thor was, because Thor is very obviously uncomfortable with it. If Thor was just like, yeah, okay, can I put my pants back on now? Then I'd be like, all right, he's okay with it. That's my judgment.
I want to see how they execute the movie. Because I like wouldn't put it past Thor being like, but I don't remember from the trailer. I don't think that's how he actually reacted.
No, he was quite mad. He's like, you flicked too hard. He like fucking yelled.
Yeah. And then Valkyrie and Jane are like,
Jane's like, should we help him? And Valkyrie's like, no. I'm like, Valkyrie.
No.
Girl. I understand. He's your friend. So you're like, meh. Just let him suffer. But no.
It's fine.
So.
Or is he? We don't know. If anyone comes in the chat and spoils that movie, I'm going to fight them.
All right. So that we've gone through all my banners and talking points. This movie was not deep. There was not a lot to analyze or really to discuss. It was just a fun, good time. So yeah. Is there anything else anybody wanted to say about it? Everyone's checking their notes fervently.
We have.
Oh, I did.
From the underwater stuff was like, which I understand. Like they're filming underwater. Good for you. I love the fact that the baby. They're like, yeah, fuck no, we're not putting a baby underwater. The blue background.
Okay, hold on. There are the pictures, because I was gonna say I really enjoyed the monster makeup that they did for Cody.
Ooh, yes. And the opening of the movie when the adopted mom Sharon is like, it sounds like the sound of a baby crying. And then they look at each other and go, baby!
What's the baby doing on the boat? Okay. So this is the tail at the end. See the knee. Here's the flipper.
They didn't put any padding in the tail.
But I like the color.
Yeah.
It's probably so he could still swim, because at the time, mertail technology was not the greatest. So that's probably just so he didn't drown in his own tail.
I need someone to look up when H2O came out. Or I'll do it.
More recently, H2O, just add water. Yeah.
They had
2006.
7 years later.
Yeah, but a lot can change. That's almost a decade.
Who was the most hated character in that show? Someone named Charlotte.
Yes.
See?
I did not like her at all.
Look, I just kind of want this. I don't care how. I just kind of want those flippers.
I sent you both of those.
Yeah, these are all the photos you sent, because my Google's still like, no. I also just like how he's just chilling here, like.
I love photos like this where like they're like half in their costumes, just chilling in their chairs.
Yeah, I really.
All right. And I don't know if y'all realize his fingers were webbed.
Oh, I did not notice.
I totally didn't realize that at all.
Because I think
tiny. That's where my attention went.
Yeah, I think that's it. But like, yeah, it's because the webbing I think was CGI, and it wasn't quite as impressive. But like these scales are whoever made his monster makeup.
It was really cool.
And then he's just chilling here with like his fins. See, I want to know if they like considered just letting him keep just 2 fins the whole time. If he was just going to be dual finned.
I would have been so fucking annoyed.
I would have accepted it if his mom was also dual finned.
Okay, yeah, but like if they didn't look like flippers just on his feet, like those dual fins were not the vibe. But if he had like 2, like
I feel like these ones look fine.
I don't like them.
More fine. Ish.
Ish.
They're very reminiscent of the monster from the Blue Lagoon for me.
I watched some of Mako Mermaids, but I didn't like.
I saw Mako Mermaids.
I think I saw a little bit, but I don't remember it at all.
See, this is what my Google does when I'm trying to look up
it all, and I didn't like it as much because I don't know. It was like mermaids trying to adapt to human culture, which is not nearly as much fun.
Yeah, the
same plots from H2O.
Yeah, the sequel, like Mako Mermaids, it's for me. I think the issue was that, like, you watch H2O, and you see these humans trying to like adjust to being mermaids and everything, and I think they're older because I think they're in their older teens, and so like
one of them is like looking at colleges.
Yeah, so they're older teens and everything, and it's just kind of like their issues are a little bit more like down to earth and relatable. And then you go to Mako Mermaids when they flip it, and you're like, oh yeah, in concept that should be fun, but they're way younger, and like now they're in a school setting. So now I'm watching mermaids try to adjust to
H2O.
No, we didn't spend nearly as much time because it was like during the summer.
This show was a couple seasons. They were definitely in school and stuff because they would shift in school, but they didn't like spend as much time worrying about school as they did about like swim team and interpersonal relationships and
and then Mako Mermaids just, I think for me it was just like for a younger audience, which was an interesting choice to do for a later series. Because like your original audience has aged up, not down, presumably. So yeah, with the second one, they were younger. Their like set of problems was just kind of like different. And I think they messed up some of the lore too. Like some of the lore from the original series no longer made sense. And I think 1 or 2 of the characters from the original series guested in it, but they like weren't there. Like,
I think one of my problems was that the fact that there apparently was just mermaids. There's actual mermaids out there, as opposed to like Ricky, Cleo, and Emma.
It brings. It's like so
mermaids helping them.
So humans can turn into mermaids, and mermaids can turn into humans. And like, where were the mermaids when the world was about to be murderized?
Yeah, like why isn't there just like the mermaid culture if there's so many of them? Like,
so Mako Mermaids I think would have worked better if it had no connection to H2O, at least for me. Savion also. I like how this started as the 13th year and now it's just like so mermaids.
Oh, I think I totally had a crush on Ricky when I was a kid. I like really liked her. She was like so cool. Yeah, I was like, you're like so cool.
I did not like Ricky and Zane.
Oh no. Well, I liked them later because I was a child who was force-fed a romantic plot, but
I had mixed feelings about it because Zane was a jerk.
I had mixed feelings in that I felt he needed more redemption before it worked. But I did like their chemistry. Like, I think the actors had good chemistry. And I think that they made the characters believable. But it's also one of those things where, like, I need to see more work on the healing and forgiveness.
So something bothered me as a kid. I always thought he wasn't hot enough for her. Because, like, the girls on that show were really pretty, and the guys were just like,
meh.
There was like two guys who were like, oh, okay. But the rest
It's
of
the
the guys
story of media. It's the story of media.
Zayn especially was just like, everyone's like, oh my god, it's Zayn. And I'm like, I mean, he doesn't have a good personality or really anything else going for him. Like, if he was
like, his personality is trash. He should be an 11 out of 10 appearance if you want me to believe it.
Yeah.
It's his daddy's money paying for it.
Yeah, but then he loses his money. His, like, dad cuts him off, like, when he started his redemption arc, and it's like, I'm sorry. What? Why do I care? And that's, like, 9-year-old CB's takes on H2O. They haven't changed. I'm just always really confused by that as a kid. I just, like, didn't understand.
As a demisexual, I was always confused anytime any show had that one character that everybody swooned over when they walked in a room.
I have a friend with him. He's just not it. Oh, not
he's just not it. I know that picture. That's also of all the pictures to try to send of him, that's not a flattering angle or facial expression for poor Zayn. Like,
it's super blurry, like, even on the phone. Because I think the pictures from 2006. Because don't allowed to have, like, the shirt's fine, but, like, everything else, no. Why is his hair slicked down?
It was the 2000s, the era of the greasy hair.
I can still have opinions.
I'm explaining it.
That times have changed, but that
I'm not
allowed to judge those times by my standards.
Look, I'm not saying it was a good look. I'm just saying you said why. I explained why.
That's like why to the universe, not like actual why.
Oh, okay. But also, this is my hot take on mullets, right? I don't think mullets are terrible. I think a mullet can look amazing. I just think mullets are stereotyped as looking terrible because there's a very specific kind of mullet that was worn primarily by white trash bad boys that got associated with white trash bad boys. And, like, because of that, when you say mullet, people think of mullets. And I have a perfect example to prove my point. So, Billy from Stranger Things, right? That's the white trash boy mullet. And, like, depending on who you ask, depends on whether or not it's a good mullet. Yeah. Steve Harrington, applauded for his amazing hair, has a mullet.
Okay, but
my point remains. Mullets are fine.
Like, the guy that played Billy, like, he's hot, like, with short hair, but the mullet, like...
He styles because he specifically styles the mullet to look bad because that's the aesthetic.
The character, yeah. But, like,
and Steve styles his mullet to look nice because that's his aesthetic. That's the thing. I'm just saying that just a mullet by itself could be either or. It's just everybody thinks of that one specific, the Billy mullet, and they're like, that's bad.
But I think Joe Keery, which is a Steve Harrington actor, looks better, actually. I just pulled up pictures. Yeah, no. It's close. Really, all he has going for him is hair. I mean, like, he's, like, perfectly fine attractive-wise, but people are like, oh my god, it's his tendency to adopt children and his hair.
I'm just saying, I will stand on my mullet defense hill because I've seen so many motherfuckers with mullets and people are like, oh my god, I love them. And I'm like, you know, they got a mullet, right? And they're like, no, I hate mullets. Mullets are horrible. And I'm like, it enrages me. It enrages me so much.
And I raise you. Most people with mullets, although they may look good, like not bad, would look better with a different hairstyle.
I raise you, everybody would look better with a different hairstyle than the one that they prefer. And that's not the point.
people, but not everyone.
But that's also not the point. Because the point isn't, does this hairstyle look good on this person? Because, bitch, I would look better with a bob than I do with a long ponytail, but I ain't chopping it off. I would, because of the way that my face is structured. Having long hair actually like makes my face look rounder and my neck look shorter. See, I told you I have that shirt. But yeah, so no, I would actually look way better with shorter hairstyles. I would look so much better, and my hair would have more life. It would have more bounce, and I know this, but I don't care.
I want to know what hairstyle I would look best with, because I cut it all off at one point.
And the argument isn't what hairstyle would look best on them. It's the fact that mullets don't automatically look terrible. So you can't change. You can't create an apple argument out of my oranges discussion. It just further cements that I'm right and you're desperate and grasping to make me
I have long since abandoned my mullet hate train. I just have a mullet dislike train now.
Fox goes, what the fuck have I come back to? The defense of mullets. Just nothing to do with the
war.
What did you think of that? Oh, they were great. They were adorable. We should be wrapping up the stream soon. We were like doing final comments on the movie, and then we started talking about other mermaid things, and then we got to mullets.
Oh, now I'm getting pictures of Steve Harrington. Yeah.
Leave everyone alone and let them live their lives. Go back to your fish people. What if my fish people have mullets, Fox? Have you considered that? Also, most Greek characters have a mullet. Hercules has a mullet.
I'm not attracted to Hercules. I don't think Hercules is that attractive. Meg is way more attractive.
Just note that, like, I'm not specifically attacking you, CV. I'm just saying in general.
It's just directed at you because Sam can't direct it.
Katrina has given absolutely no opinion on mullets other than to go, yeah, Sam kind of has a point. So she's safe.
Although I would argue any hairstyle looks bad if you don't style it right.
Why'd you send me a picture next to Steve Harrington?
I did not.
Leave your fish people alone. No, somebody is getting a mullet now. I don't know who. Bruce, my shark man, will have a mullet.
A shark would have a mullet.
Right? See?
Yeah,
See?
No. Like, I don't even know what type of mullet. Just a mullet. Hopefully a good mullet. I saw we were at like a park the other day.
Leanne's like, I'm gone now. I don't care about your mullets.
They want to leave.
All right, we'll go ahead and wrap up.
I feel like an Elsa mullet.
Like you could have. Oh, that's another one. Elsa has a mullet.
Wait, what classifies a mullet on someone with long hair?
Short on top, long in the back. Party up front, business in the back. That's all it is. Technically, if you have super bangs, you have a mullet.
Do I have a mullet?
No, I don't think you have enough bang to have a mullet.
I have a mullet. I just got my haircut.
I have to see it from the back. Take your hair down, do a spin. I'm sorry, people will do our outros as soon as we determine whether or not Stevie has a mullet. No, I don't think that's a mullet. Do you, Katrina?
No.
I think it's too like layered to be a mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like a nice. Yeah, a mullet has a very distinct cutoff point most of the time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I do think you would look good with a mullet, but you don't currently possess one.
CV with a mullet.
That's the face that she's gonna disown me in 2 seconds.
I don't. I think Elsa's hair is fantastic.
Elsa's hair looks great.
Yeah, Elsa's looks great.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. So, mullets were invented so that people could have long hair and still look professional, because they would like have short. They would have short hair and it would be styled, and then they would pull their long hair back into a well-groomed ponytail, and it would look professional. And then trashy bad boys were like, no. And then they did what they did. All right, but everybody, thank you for watching this movie with us. Fox is just sending me a bunch of fish gifts. now. We should go ahead and say our outros.
Hello, am I going first? I am going first. Hello there. That's not my. I'm Hey There, not Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's a whole joke about. Okay. Hi there.
Serious CB has joined the chat.
What?
I said Serious CB has joined the chat.
Hi there. I'm CB Ferrenz, down fantasy writer, teenager, college student, and film major. On all my channels, I talk about how those things come together and rather don't. I get behind the scenes of short films I make. One is on its way, and make funny videos with semi-reliable writing advice. My social medias are down below. If you want some CB photos, go down there and follow because I will be posting them shortly. Thank you and goodbye, Katrina.
Hi.
It's so honest. Are you gonna murder Katrina?
What? No!
You were like, thank you and goodbye, Katrina.
Katrina and I are talking one day and she like shares valuable information. I'm like, thank you. And goodbye, Katrina. Stab!
For her alleged assassin.
You can be a alleged commander.
I'm honored.
Oh,
Hi.
moving up in the lore world.
Still
go
no
ahead.
macro. It's fine. I don't have one. And I have nothing to promote except for my Instagram because I have a cute cat.
All right, I got it. It's Katrina, not a hurricane, just our pal. With a cat.
Oh,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am writing Mom Samantha Nasset. This is my channel where I talk about writer things, parrot things, and writer parrot things, and go on tangents about hairstyles. On Mondays, we just have a good time regardless of what we're doing, whether we do a Let's Talk, a write-in, a quarterly party. It's always fun. You never know what you're gonna get. I don't care what the summaries say. If you would like to see a sample of my writing, you can go to my website, samanthaalnasset.com, where you can read my flash fiction, Until Pizza Do Us Part. Or if you hunt it up in chat, you can click the link to see a special preview of All That Glitters. While you're there, you can sign up to my newsletter to get guaranteed early access to all things that I'm doing. And yeah, if you would like to support the channel, like, subscribe, ring-a-ding that bell so that you get the alert, and you can tip me at my Ko-fi down below.
Let's get us that money.
The concussion is strong. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking. Can't wait to see y'all next week. Bye.
Katrina.